So you could have gone in a whole bunch of different directions with respect to clothing and fashion. And you could have been like Damon John, who started out in his fashion world hawking t-shirts, basically. But you went more the haute couture style, more of the really detailed workmanship route. Why did you do that?
So I took a design class, which really was the beginning of me pursuing this as a business idea. I took a design class, and the class focused on divergent thinking, which is basically multiple ways to solve one problem. And it was a beautiful class because I think so many times we grow up in school systems where there's only one right way to solve a problem. Maybe there's an algebra problem and the teacher demands that you show your work and it has to be solved this way. And I always thought that was dumb, just frankly speaking. I was always the guy in middle school and in elementary school and high school that wanted to find the other way to get the right answer in a more creative way. And so the design class was the first one that really embraced that way of thinking for me. And so once I took that class, I just started thinking of all the possibilities, of something that I could do. And I think with t-shirts, and there's no knock against t-shirts, I think t-shirts are great. They can still be a form of self-expression. I have always had an infatuation with luxury. And it's funny, you referenced James Bond and Ralph Lauren at the beginning of this interview. And those are people that I've always admired. I've always admired the George Clooney's, the actors, the Ocean's 11 tuxedo in a casino or casually dressed in Lake Como. But either way, it was still having a GQ look, whether you were formal or casual. And so that always attracted me. And as I studied more about the art of bespoke suits, the need for them, especially within professional athletes and my connections in those, and then honestly, just my coaches who could afford nice things, constantly talking about the difference between this brand and what they liked and didn't like. It was basically a perfect storm. And I just always admired that kind of stuff. And so I got my first suit. It was a black velvet tuxedo. And I got it for my junior year formal in college. And once I put that thing on, and it was my first custom suit that I made and designed, and I wore it to formal, everyone just could not stop talking about it. And I just remember how good that made me feel. So I think the suit is the most powerful thing a man can wear. And I wanted to be behind that.
Well, when I referenced Ralph Lauren on the designer side, that was my way of giving you the highest compliment that I could think of, because he is my favorite designer as a woman who also likes to wear nice clothing. I'm not wearing nice clothing right now. And I showed you I'm wearing sweats with my hiking socks and just kind of a ratty shirt. But I do like to wear nice clothes, and he is without a doubt my favorite designer. And he is so the attention to detail. And it's also, you see the clothing and you know who designed it. He just has such a style and a point of view, and that also comes across in the clothing that you design, Mitch.